guys, welcome back to some more videos, and today we got another collection update video for y'all. And this has been one that I've been pretty excited to make. I picked up a lot of interesting stuff in the past few months, and I'm going to be showing you guys that here today. I guess first of all, I can show you guys I picked up some pretty cool things from the Nightmares in Video Game store. I got a Halloween 2 pumpkin, which does light up, but the batteries are dead right now, so doesn't light up right now. But yeah, I do got that, and then got a gremlin from the Nightmares in Video Game store. So I got these from there, pretty cool, and also got a ton of movies to show you guys. So let's get right into it. This first stack I got right here is a bunch of wrestling DVDs. I went crazy and just bought a bunch of wrestling DVDs, mainly because on the streaming services, I don't like the way the setup is to try and find specific matches. The cool thing about these DVD box sets is that they have guides on it, and they also have ways where you can easily find matches. I'm not a big fan of if you're trying to find specific matches on the streaming services. It's very hard to do. And with the rights of WWE and wrestling in general being all over the place right now, different apps, you got to have so many different apps and so many different streaming services to watch wrestling anymore. So decided to get some physical copies so that I have them. They're not going to go away. They're not going to be censored. I own them. And, you know, I want to have them how they are. I don't want to have to try and hunt them down on a streaming service. So first thing I picked up is NWO The Revolution. I did see this documentary a long time ago on, I believe I watched this one on the network, and some really cool packaging and artwork on the inside. These old school WWE DVDs always did that. They always had really cool packaging and stuff like that. I can't really get a full shot of the inside, but that's pretty cool. I did really like the documentary, but I also got this because it has their best matches, as well as the rest of these DVDs. They tend to have some of the best matches from the, whether it's a faction or a company or a specific wrestler, they always tend to have a collection of some of their best matches. This one I gotta be a little bit more careful with, the Best of WCW Volume 1. The DVDs on the inside are barely hanging in there, so I can't show the inside because I don't want stuff to fall out, but I can show the inside right here with some of the artwork and stuff. Been really wanting to get into WCW Nitro and WCW in general, so this is some of the best of Nitro, so I was very excited to pick this up. There's like 2 other volumes after that, I think. Then I also got the history of the WWE Championship. I know there's also a history of the World Heavyweight Championship, which I want to get. I also have the history of the Intercontinental Championship, which was pretty cool. But yeah, really like this. This is pretty neat. And so I got that. Got the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. The thing about this documentary is that it's pretty controversial these days because WWE is trying to, you know, basically sweep this under the rug. You know, this was made back in 2005, I think. And, you know, Ultimate Warrior is one of those characters where I like the character of Ultimate Warrior. I'm not a huge Ultimate Warrior fan, but I like his look. I like the idea of this wild man character. He's a very colorful character. He's out there from parts unknown. And I know WWE is really trying to bury that documentary, and they have that other documentary, Always Believe, which is kind of the polar opposite of this. You watch this, and they're pretty down on the Ultimate Warrior. You watch that one, people are like, oh my God, he was amazing. He was inspiring. And sadly, I do think this is a bit more on the realism side because just the various accounts of the Ultimate Warrior, just how he acted to people, how he would yell at fans, and how he'd freak out on people. Sadly, that was just something that I could see happening a lot, and there's a lot of people that back up those stories. So, yeah, I got the Ultimate Warrior, the Rising, or the Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. Then we got NXT From Secret to Sensation. which is pretty cool. It has like some of the very best matches from the beginning of NXT all the way to like 2017, which is pretty neat. Then we have Tombstone, The History of The Undertaker, which is a 3-disc set. You got quite a bit of matches in there. You got some streak matches, but most of them are just other matches from other pay-per-views. This one is really cool. I'm very happy that WWE was able to release this because I've always wanted to get more into Mid-South wrestling, and you know, this has it. You can go back and watch the history of it and stuff. So that's pretty cool. WWE used to release really good DVDs and stuff like that, box sets. And sadly, I don't think it'll ever go back to that. I think it's just, you know, strictly digital now. But we got The Shield, Justice for All, which is a collection of some of their best matches. Then we get into some of the ECW DVDs I've picked up. One of them was Bloodsport, ECW, The Most Violent Matches. Pretty sure that, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty censored as far as the music goes. It'll be cool to have that to, you know, see some of the matches I haven't watched yet. But I did pick up this, which is an original ECW DVD. As you can see up there, uncensored, Extreme Evolution. I now have 3 of these. I will keep these because this has the original music. So you're getting the full ECW experience with these DVDs. The thing is, though, the DVD is starting to turn yellow. So I don't know how long this is going to last. I'm pretty sure this is going to start rotting soon. So I'll enjoy it while it lasts. I didn't pay that much for it anyways. Then we got this right here, which is a really... It's crazy that I actually have this. This is Hard Knocks, the Chris Benoit story. Of course, you know, we all know about Chris Benoit. Changed everything. I mean, it was a horrible tragedy, and just can't believe that this was made. You know, this was made not too long before everything happened. 2004, I think, is when this was made. But, yeah, it's just crazy that's still out there. You can still find that DVD, that documentary. It was just really strange watching it because, I don't know, I get it, hindsight is like 50-50, so like, when you look back on interviews with Chris Benoit, people are always trying to look for, you know, did he say something in a documentary or an interview? Could there be signs? And I will say, even though there wasn't things he was saying necessarily in the documentary that I was like, oh my God, that was a sign. Just there is an energy about Chris Benoit. When you're watching him on camera, there's something about him that's chilling, kind of cold. And again, I don't know if that's just because of everything that we do know about what happened with the tragedy and everything, but there is something creepy about watching that documentary. So I got that. Also because it has a collection of his matches. Not a fan of Chris Benoit as a person. What he did was a travesty. It was horrible. But as a wrestler, and to have his wrestling matches, they do have stuff from like New Japan, WCW, and WWE. So I will check out some of his wrestling matches. Again, he's a horrible person. But as a wrestler, I do enjoy his matches. So do have that. And I just wanted to check out the documentary because it was just something that, again, you're not going to find that on Peacock. You're just never going to find something like that again. Then we also got Rob Van Dam, One of a Kind, which I believe is a documentary and also has some of his matches on there. Then we got Jake the Snake Roberts, Pick Your Poison, which I did watch, and while I won't say it's as good as The Resurrection of Jake Roberts. It's a documentary that doesn't try to sugarcoat everything. You know, it's still telling the truth. It's still Jake Roberts interviewing or being interviewed and telling his story and being honest about it and being open about it. And it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's very kind of a dark story. So yeah, I thought it was really cool that they were able to still keep it very truthful. You know, there's matches on there which I want to watch, and it was a really good documentary. Again, not as good as The Resurrection of Jake the Snake, but it's still a good documentary. And the last one I have is McMahon, the documentary about Vince McMahon, the first one, the one that Netflix didn't produce. And I haven't watched it yet, but I got this because, again, I do not support this person, Vince McMahon. He's a pretty bad person. He's done horrible things over the years. But I thought it was fascinating that this DVD came out back in the day. And I remember the advertisers talking about, like, you know, basically this was made to sort of explain the character Mr. McMahon and then the person Vince McMahon. And the Netflix documentary kind of gets into that a little bit, but I was curious on how they cover his story in this documentary. So, again, you won't find that on Peacock. A lot of these you won't find on there. So we got that, the McMahon documentary. And up next, we got Wishmaster Collection, 4-film set. Found this for a pretty good deal. I used to have a DVD set of the Wishmaster movies. It got lost, so seen this and picked it up. Got the Wishmaster Collection. I cannot believe I found this. And a lot of horror fans, collectors out there have all been seeing this at Walmart and have been scratching our heads because it's like, this is nuts. I cannot believe I found this at Walmart. The Faces of Death Collection, volumes 1 through 4. Now, I did not plan in the past to pick up the sequels because, you know, the first Faces of Death, okay, so like Faces of Death, it all kind of goes together. Like, once you've seen the first one, you've seen the sequels. But the sequels are done even worse than the first one. Like 3 and 4 are pretty awful. And then 2 is probably the only one that's up there with the first one. As in, like, again, I'm not a huge fan of these movies, but they are what they are. They are Mondo. They are exploitation movies. They're products of their time. But with this being at Walmart, I was like, I kind of can't pass it up because I don't think you'll ever see something like this again. Maybe you will. Maybe they'll start distributing shit like Cannibal Holocaust and, August Underground and shit. I don't know, but it is crazy to me that this was at Walmart. And again, I don't know if this will be rare one day or what. I don't know if they're going to recall these. What I'm assuming happened was somebody at Walmart was like, hey, there's a new horror movie coming out called Faces of Death, because there is a new Faces of Death movie being worked on right now, and it'll come out either later this year or next year. And so I think Walmart was like, hey, there's a new Faces of Death coming out. Let's re-release the originals. Not knowing what movies these are, or just not caring that these movies are what they are. While it's not all 100% real death footage like they try to claim it is, there is real death scenes in this. And so it is insane that they actually have these movies at Walmart. So, yeah, I cannot believe I found that. The Faces of Death collection at your Walmart, or local Walmart, at least right now. I don't know if it'll ever be at Walmart, months down the line, but I cannot believe I found that there. That's insane. Then we got the animated series collection. It's a box set. We got Blade, Iron Man, Wolverine, and X-Men. It sort of looks like an anime style series of various Marvel characters and stuff. So I'm interested in seeing this. The only one I really know about is the Blade one. The rest are kind of going to be blind watches. And you can't find that on Disney Plus. At least I couldn't find it on there. Then, of course, been getting into David Lynch and watching a lot of his movies lately. Had to pick up Twin Peaks, the complete series. Has The Return and the original series. So, Was pretty excited to get this. I watched Mulholland Drive recently and really loved it, so definitely be watching Twin Peaks sometime soon. Then we got one that I checked out recently called The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. I don't know why this movie gets crapped on so much, other than like bad CGI, but I actually really liked this movie a lot. I dug the idea of it. The cast was really good. And I really enjoyed The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That was a pretty good movie. Lots of fun. Then we got High Tension. A movie I seen a long time ago, years ago. I barely remember it. So this is definitely one that I want to revisit sometime soon. I remember it being pretty good, though. And yes, I know about the twist ending. Not a big fan of the twist to this movie, but it doesn't ruin the movie for me personally. So, got that. And we got Inside on DVD. What's crazy is that I actually had this movie on DVD a long time ago, but it got lost. And I couldn't find it anywhere. Found it at a game store for a pretty good price. So, finally have the original Inside back in the collection. With a slipcover now, too. So that's pretty cool. So we got Inside. We got Iced, which was a really fun slasher movie. I actually really enjoyed it. Shot on video. Really good. Really enjoyed the slasher film. Lots of fun. So we got Iced. Then we got another one from Vinegar Syndrome. We got Curse of the Devil, Demon Witch Child, and The Vampire's Night Orgy. I don't think I've ever seen any of these movies, so this will be a first-time watch for all of them. But the artwork was wicked, so picked it up. And I know that this one, The Curse of the Devil, I think it's The Curse of the Devil, is a Paul Naschy movie, I think. And I'm a really big fan of his films, so got that. Had this on DVD for a while, so I updated it to 4K, I believe. This is a 4K, I think. I think it's a 4K. No, I think it's just a Blu-ray. But did upgrade it nevertheless. Again, it was just really cheap steelbook at Walmart. And the only way that I had it was on DVD. So decided to update that. We got They Live. Then we got The Wolfman, 4K steelbook. Then we got Smile 2, which I rewatched, 4K steelbook. Really cool. Love this movie. Love it a lot. It's a great sequel. Surprised myself that I actually got this one. This is The Mummy in 4K steelbook. I guess I got it for the collection and to give it a chance again. And I don't know. I was just like, look, if I'm going to have all these steelbooks, might as well get this. We'll give it a chance. I'm not big on The Mummy, but we'll give it another shot one day. Just got it mainly for the collection. Then I got a steelbook of Evil Dead Rise. Fun movie. Really enjoyed it. Again, is this a 4K or is this a Blu-ray? This might be a 4K. But Evil Dead Rise. Missed out on the steelbook back when it originally dropped, so I got that one when it got re-released. Constantine, 4K steelbook. Really cool. And bust. Really cool. Glad I got that. And up next, we got Kickboxer, starring Van Damme. Then we got Highlander. Never seen a Highlander movie before. The Last Starfighter. Boy Kills World. Really excited to check this out. Seen the trailer for it and it really interested me. The Wrestler on Blu-ray. A lot of just really emotional watching this movie again. This is one of my favorite films out there. Mickey Rourke did amazing. Big fan of The Wrestler. It's a great movie. Found this one, pretty rare Blu-ray to come across. There Will Be Blood. Found it for really cheap, like 10 bucks for this. Maybe it might be $7. Found it for really cheap. That's another one that I really want to watch. This is another really cheap Blu-ray I found. This was like 10 bucks, I think. The Deer Hunter. 5 Academy Awards. So that's pretty cool. Again, another one that I was really wanting to check out. Legend. Ridley Scott. Tom Cruise starring in this. Tim Curry. Never seen it, but I know a lot of people have recommended that one. A Blu-ray of The Collection, which I did watch, and I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a great sequel. Pretty excited for the new one to come out soon. So, got The Collection. The My Bloody Valentine remake on Blu-ray. Total Recall on Blu-ray. Really dig the slipcovers for those. Monkey Man on Blu-ray. Really enjoyed that one. Really good movie. Then we got Pandorum Blu-ray. Remember seeing that one a long time ago. Deja Vu, we got Long Legs on 4K. I actually have the Long Legs Blu-ray right over there, which I'm going to give to a friend because I upgraded it to 4K. Long Legs. Told you guys I'd get a 4K of it eventually. Then I got Nosferatu on 4K. Missed out on the Steelbook. It sucks, but nevertheless, got it on 4K. Blade Runner 2049 on 4K. Pretty cool because I love the original Blade Runner, so I'm very excited to check this one out. So we got Blade Runner 2049. Then up next we have Deranged, The Confessions of a Necrophile, which I heard was a wild-ass movie. So, pretty excited to check that one out. Then we got Alien Romulus on 4K. Really enjoyed that one. That one's a great movie. Really enjoyed Alien Romulus. And then the last thing I got to show is a really cool edition of The Lighthouse on Blu-ray, which is really neat. I'll try and do this one-handed here, so it'll be a little difficult. But it's sort of like a book. When you open it up, and there's drawings and there's stuff you can read. But there's the Blu-ray. Pretty neat. Really love this movie. This is one of my favorite A24 films, so pretty cool that I got that. It is a pretty neat edition of The Lighthouse. Okay, I know this is a very random insert here, and I know this is a new background and everything. Yes, I collect plushies. Laugh it up. Laugh it up. Go on, get your laughs out. All right, moving on. I know this is a bit of a random transition to a new day. I haven't finished this collection update video yet. It's been some time since I filmed the footage that you had seen earlier in this video. Not sure I'm going to put this part of the video in, but just know this is a little bit of time later, and I have collected quite a bit since then. So why not add it into the video? And sipping on a Watermelon Jolly Rancher C4. I figured this would be a lot better than just a blank, you know, nothingness. I know my walls are really dirty and stuff, but this is where I used to have all my shelves at, so you can see like the shelves used to bump into the walls and stuff. There's a scrape up there. But yeah, that's why this is there. Just I wanted to make something a little bit more entertaining to look at than just a blank wall with a bunch of marks on it. But anyways, continuing on with the collection update video, I did pick up Jackass the box set, which is a collection of the best episodes of the show. I don't know if this is the whole show or not. I haven't gotten into it yet, but it is a 4-disc set with a booklet, and that's pretty cool. There's a bad glare. It looks like there's a smear on my lens. Hold on, let me fix that. I don't know if that really helped much, but we got the Jackass box set. Give you guys a little bit of a look on the inside contents. And then right here we have a booklet which you can read. We got volume 1. Which is actually, that's a stunt they did in one of the movies too. I actually didn't get to see too much of the show. It's just Steve-O's ass on the back. I think this video is gonna get freaking restricted now. But again, I didn't see too much of the show. I didn't have Paramount Plus for very long because it just didn't have a lot of content on there that interested me. So I didn't get a chance to see more than maybe an episode or two of the show. So I don't know if this is the full show or not. There's a bonus disc as well. But I do know it has some of the best of, and it's kind of hard to find this. It's not super impossible, but I had to get it. I had to bid for it. So it was something that I had to go out and look for. I mean, you can't really find it in store. It's weird because for as big as Jackass is, you can find the movie, like the movie franchise, pretty easily. You know, you go to a Walmart $5 bin and find a box set for those movies. When it comes to the show, it's kind of tough to track down. You either got to get a streaming service or you got to go and find some of the box sets. And these box sets are a little older, so they're kind of harder to find. But yeah, big fan of Jackass, huge fan of the movies. I even really enjoy Bad Grandpa. Jackass 1 is legendary. Jackass 2 is even more crazier. Jackass 3D is a lot of fun. And Jackass Forever, I loved as well. I'm a huge Jackass fan. And growing up, you know, me and my friends were kind of like these guys. Just, you know, being goofballs, doing stunts, doing pranks, you know, being stupid, being jackasses. I mean, that's why it's called that, you know. So I really relate to these guys. It's a good cast of characters. It's all fun and games. There's some nastiness in there, but it's a lot of really really fun time watching these movies, and I'm hoping to have a lot of fun watching the show. So yeah, got the box set of the Jackass series. And moving on from that, we get to the history of the World Heavyweight Championship, which of course in the last little bit of the update video I filmed, I had the history of the WWE Championship. This is the one I was looking for. This one I'm very excited to check out. You have a lot of matches in here that I'm interested in. You got a 3-disc set, and I have all 3 now. I have the IC title history, I have the WWE Championship history, and now I have the history of the World Heavyweight Championship. So I have the whole set. Pretty cool. I hope. Again, WWE doesn't make DVDs anymore, sadly. Even though I think they made really freaking cool DVDs back in the day. I still, as you guys can see earlier in the video, I bought a shit ton of them because I love these DVD releases because they're a lot more organized than the Peacock, Netflix stuff right now. On those services, it's very hard to find a specific match you're looking for. And these are a lot more organized. They have good, like, layouts, and only a few of the DVDs do the whole blurring thing. Where, like, you know, I know the Hulk Hogan set, that had a lot of blurring of the WWF logo. Again, that's annoying, but they eventually stopped doing that. That's the only complaint I have with the old WWE DVDs. Because nowadays, they don't have to blur it. They just can't say WWF. They can't say World Wrestling Federation. But I can! No, but, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, I got the history of the world title. I would love if they did a history of the United States Championship. That would be so cool, but yeah, they don't make DVDs anymore. So sadly, we're not going to get that, but pick that up. Next up, we got Bohemian Rhapsody on Blu-ray. I had the DVD, but I have been looking for this on Blu-ray for many, many years, and it was very cheap. It was like $5 for this Blu-ray, so had to get it. So we got Bohemian Rhapsody. Then we got a really cool Boris Karloff DVD set. Comes with 5 films, I think. Yeah, it comes with 5 films. Night Key, Tower of London, The Climax, The Strange Door, and The Black Castle. Got this at FYE for a pretty good deal. I think this might have been like 10 bucks. For 5 movies, that's a pretty good deal. And I'm a big fan of Boris Karloff, so really wanted to see what this set has to offer. And there we go, I get a look on the inside artwork. Some really cool artwork. I'm gonna see if I can show you guys the inside. There we go. Pretty cool stuff. So yeah, big fan of Boris Karloff, want to see more of his films. The cool thing is, on YouTube, there's a lot of free Boris Karloff movies on there. I know that they're also releasing, I believe, a 4K scan of, what is that called? The Old Dark House, I think, is a movie he did. I know they're making a 4K or a Blu-ray scan of that movie soon, which I'm going to be getting to. But if you look up Boris Karloff full movies on YouTube, you can find most of his older ones on there for free. Of course, the one that I always try to plug is Targets. To me, Targets, I know it's not officially his last movie, but my God, Targets is a masterpiece. And if you can't find that on YouTube for free. I'd be surprised if you could find that. The only way you can find that is either Tubi or going out and getting the Criterion one, which I recommend the Criterion one because it looks great. And that's a must-see movie for everybody. So I brung up Boris Karloff, so I had to bring up Targets. So yeah, I got this, which is pretty cool. Again, these I am not familiar with, but I am pretty excited to check out. So yeah, we got the Boris Karloff collection. Next up, we have a Mars Attacks Blu-ray. This is the slipcover. This is the Blu-ray. Walmart slipcovers are very hit and miss. Sometimes they do the really cool glow-in-the-dark ones. Sometimes they do the whole, like, the green glow-in-the-dark, the blue glow-in-the-dark. They do the retro posters. I'm not a big fan of these ones, where it's like a color, an item from the movie, and then a quote. I'm not big on that, but I don't mind it for this. I mean, the pink and green, they go together very well. So this is one that's very infamous. It's got a cult following. Some people don't like it. It's got a good cast there, so I really wanted to give it a chance. Mars Attacks. This is one that I never seen, but again, I just wanted to give it a shot to see how it is. I haven't seen a good alien invasion movie in a while, so hopefully this one will be pretty entertaining. And then I have a Little Shop of Horrors Blu-ray from Walmart. Again, the whole gimmick of that slipcover, not the greatest, not a big fan of it, but I did get this is a really cheap Blu-ray. If you guys want to go find cheap Blu-rays, I mean, Walmart's there. I always plug that. Walmart is one of the only places that you can buy physical media from now. Probably the only place, because you can't find them at Target or Best Buy anymore. So your only places you can find them is Walmart and maybe Meijer. And Meijer is like, every time I go there to get movies, they want an arm and a leg for their fucking movies. So recommend Walmart. You can find physical media in there. Although it's sad because the physical media at Walmart is beginning to shrink, and I can tell. You know, the $8 bins. Remember the $8 Blu-ray bins? Those were the days, man. Just go in there and pick a handful of Blu-rays up. Some movies, of course, I want to have on 4K special edition. Some movies I'm fine on having on Blu-ray, but this is a good deal. This may have been like $7 for this Blu-ray. So we got Little Shop of Horrors, which is pretty cool. Then we have a Blu-ray of Ex Machina, which I really love this movie. Great film. Wanted to update it and get it on Blu-ray. I don't actually think I had this on physical media, so pretty cool. Got Ex Machina. Then this is a movie I've been wanting to see for a very long time. It wasn't streaming anywhere. I couldn't find it, so found a Blu-ray for relatively very cheap, and it's Brothers. Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal, Natalie Portman. Great cast. Haven't seen this movie. I remember when this movie came out and how much noise this movie made and how much it was talked about. It was like this. I remember when Precious came out and how much that was talked about. I did see Precious a long time ago. That's a great movie too. But yeah, I got Brothers. again, I've been wanting to see this movie for a while, so it's pretty cool. Found it, picked it up, gonna watch it as soon as possible. And the last thing we got is the Evil Dead 4K Steelbook. I am very glad that I didn't get that 4K when it came out, that other Evil Dead, the first 4K they did, because the artwork was nothing really special. I don't think they had any custom artwork for that 4K when it came out. At least I didn't see it. But this is a Steelbook. I'm a bigger fan of Steelbooks anyways, so I was glad to get this. Love the artwork. Cool to have this because I only really got it because I had it on DVD. I was fine with having it on DVD, but I wanted to watch the unrated cut, because the unrated cut, I wanted to see how much footage they put back in, because if you watch the trailer for Evil Dead, there's stuff in that trailer that's not in the movie. So I wanted to see if there was at least a deleted scenes section, if there was more footage put back into the movie. So hopefully this does have the extra footage added in there, and hopefully it has a lot there to check out. Again, I don't think there was much special features, but I'm curious about the deleted scenes, the unrated cut. I want to see the differences. So yeah, got the Evil Dead Steelbook. I just realized filming this last part of the video, I think I'm going to put this in towards the end of the video, I actually like this layout better than how I filmed the earlier portion up there, trying to film it up there. It's much easier filming it right here. Plus, I do like the plushy background. Even though none of people are going to be laughing at me like, this fucking guy. Yeah. Laugh it up. Nah, I know you guys are cool. But, yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this Blu-ray DVD 4K update video. This will probably be put in towards the end of the video, so I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. Take care. And your boy, Nate, is out of here. See you later.